Contemporary churches go to great lengths to create a meaningful worship experience. Senior Pastor Dale Walker of Heart for the World Church in Las Cruces, New Mexico, says it can be much more.
This setting is like many modern-day churches. You know, we've got drums, keyboards, the lights are on this stage. All those things that the modern church does to create that worship experience. What are they looking for?
People are hungry for the presence of God. I mean, it's something that they can't get from entertainment or the world anywhere else.
But you would say that they're missing part of the equation.
God has always meant for worship to be the complete experience. What I call this worshipful compassion, which is loving people as an act of worship, not just going into God's presence in a worship service, but being the presence of Jesus, the hands and feet of Jesus to others, and letting them experience the supernatural touch of God through us.
In his book, Kissing the Face of God, Worship That Changes the World, Dale says that many Christians don't understand that worship and compassion go hand in hand.
Worship without compassion can become empty ritualism. On the other hand, compassion without worship can become burnout. So the idea is one without the other loses its life-giving essence.
Dale admits that in his early days as a pastor, he didn't get the connection either. Then he went to the Philippines, where he met a 2-year-old fatherless girl who lived in a cemetery.
And so I picked her up and I hugged her. I said, "Oh, baby, you're beautiful." And I started to try to put her down, and she just like dug her nails into my neck, and just had that sense of what God's saying to me, what would you do if one of your daughters lived their whole life in a cemetery? And I remember just saying I would do anything, and that's when the Lord said, "That's exactly how I feel. And you came here for that purpose, because one little girl needed to feel the Father's love."
Soon after, Dale's church opened a feeding center near the cemetery. But that was just the start of what is now called Heart for the World Ministries. Like many churches and organizations, they help thousands in their community and abroad through relief efforts and aid. But Dale says that's not always enough.
We often think in the church of helping the poor as in meeting their physical needs, which obviously those needs are real. But you say there's a step more that we need to take beyond just meeting physical needs for these people.
I think that the idea of being friends with the poor is far more important, because what we find is that they have more to give to us than we have to give to them. And so it's that sharing of life, and especially to worship with them.
What can we expect to happen personally and the church as a whole when we embrace this idea of worship and compassion?
I really believe it creates a revolution in hearts, and it creates a whole nother kind of community. I really believe it's transforming. It gives us a tenderness, and it gives us something bigger to live for.